Well, it's been exactly 1 year since the anime was first conceived. First thought of on top of that climbing frame after school. And since then, all I can say is how proud I am of Maya, myself, and everyone who ever believed that we could make it this far. And just look at how far we've come. I've become a far better voice actor than when I first started. Well, it's the only experience I've ever had, but I've definitely improved. Miwa has put heart and soul into ADHD, and I can only hope I can come close to saying the same. I've made so many memories that I will cherish daily for years, and so many friends that I love with all my heart. Even though it's been difficult, working with Miwa on ADHD has inspired me to pick up projects that I would have let collect dust and never come to fruition. And for this, I thank you. Maya, Noodle, Ellie, you guys, everyone that has believed in us and stuck with us through everything. Thank you, and happy birthday, ADHD.
Don't you love it when you're the most hated character in the entire anime for 1 full year? It's fun. I love it. Yeah, this has been fun.
Hi everyone, I'm Zunia Kuanua, and I just wanted to say happy anniversary to Aliens Dislike High School Dummies. I didn't realize it was the 1 year anniversary until the 17th. I saw that it was 11 months ago, but I didn't really put it together in my mind. I'm actually surprised I've been able to work for this long on it. I'm sad that it takes so long to come out, but I hope you know that I do put a lot of effort into each episode, so maybe that makes up for it a little. I'm so glad that Aliens Dislike High School Dummies has fans and people are actually invested in the story. It really astounds me, to be honest, because I hardly even understand the story, so I don't know if you guys do. The 22nd of May is the anniversary of Aliens Dislike High School Dummies, but it's also the anniversary of Isabel. The 22nd of May is Isabel's birthday, and I didn't even realize. So, happy birthday, Isabel, and happy birthday, Aliens Dislike High School Dummies. This may be old timing, but I want to take a moment just to talk about my mental health whilst working on Aliens Dislike High School Dummies. I hope it gives some sort of context as to why the episodes take so long to come out. In this section, I'm going to be talking about my mental health while working on Aliens Dislike High School Dummies. Feel free to skip this because it will contain references to depression and suicidal thoughts. Aliens Dislike High School Dummies has actually taken quite an emotional toll on me. Episode 1 was so difficult for me to create. Most of the time I just cry while drawing. I had thoughts of dropping it altogether and a lot darker thoughts. Those dark thoughts consumed me. Working on it really made me feel worthless a lot of the time. I wasn't happy with my art, I wasn't happy with the fact that I couldn't do animation, and I wasn't happy that Aliens Dislike High School Dummies was getting no reception. It kind of felt like I put myself through torture for nothing. But eventually people started noticing it, and they left nice comments whenever I uploaded an episode. Just reading comments of people saying that they're happy whenever I upload, it makes me feel better. And when I think about dropping the show, they're the things I look back on. I'm sorry I sound so weird in this section. It's hard to speak normally about such dark things. My throat feels like it's closed up, so I sound really scratchy. I'm sorry. I think that scratchy, high-pitched voices sound quite bad, so I made an effort to lower down my voice, so maybe it was a bit easier on the ears. I'm glad you listened to this section. Thank you. Now on something happy. I have received some questions from you guys, and I will be answering them here.
I'm curious about a walkthrough of the neighborhood/setting.
The setting of Aliens Dislike High School Dummies takes part in reality and part of just random Google images I saw when researching. The main big part is the school that we live in, which is actually my previous high school. because I've graduated, I can't exactly go back in, and especially because of the circumstances at the moment. But I can go on Google Maps, so please enjoy the terrible images. Actual world maps will be shown in the next episode, so look out for that, episode 5, as of this video. I'm also gonna take this opportunity to tell you why the real park wasn't shown in episode 2. The whole live action segment was actually all recorded in one session and without a script, because the standing cameraman we had could only record for that one day. Where the park actually is in the real world would have taken us too long to get to, so it would have been dark by the time we got there. The sun was already setting when we were at that park, so we just took the opportunity. Personally, I think it adds to the idea of another world, so maybe it was for the best.
Show some original concept art from when you created the story, like sketches and stuff.
Isabel was the one who first designed the characters. We didn't know each other too well back then, so I had to refine the characters a bit and make them a bit easier to replicate over and over again by getting rid of some details. I'd say Noodle stayed close to the same, then Isabel, and I kept a lot of details, but Elizabeth was definitely the one that changed the most. Look, you see, in the original announcement video was actually stolen. I don't know where it went, someone took it, but I took that chance to come up with a better plot for Aliens High School Dummies. So here you can see some logos of what it was going to be. That one's the closest, I think. The Japanese title is actually here. On these pages you can see the first ever sketches for Aliens High School Dummies. I used to sketch them out in a manga style, so it helped me with pacing a bit better. School, I like to sketch on post-it notes. One, so the teacher can't see me, and two, because I don't like wasting paper. Here's something that was never used. Isabel was going to congratulate me with a lollipop. So here you can see sketches for episode 3. When I get home from school, I take my partially stolen school books and I put all of the sticky notes in here so that I can take pictures of them easily. I can set them all out. These are the sketches for episode 4. Some of them look really bad, and I'm glad you never get to see them. I sketch first in pen. I never sketch in pencil just because it's easier.
Are you aware that the acronym for Aliens Dislike High School Dummies is a mental condition? And what's the story behind the name?
I was mainly inspired by those light novels that have really specific and long titles. I wanted the series name to sum up exactly what the fanime was about. I wanted it to include the word aliens and high school dummies. So there wasn't a lot of leeway in what we could do with the name. It was originally Aliens Hate High School Dummies, but when I was designing logos, I didn't think that two H's next to each other looked good. So I began to look for synonyms for the word hates, and that's where dislike came from. I am aware that ADHD is a mental condition. I'm not too sure what it is. I have done research, but I don't quite understand it. I hope you understand that the acronym ADHD was never meant to offend or upset anyone.
What inspired you to make the live action scenes? I've never seen anything like that in a fanime.
The live action segment was originally a plot point that I didn't really feel fit in with the episode too well. When Isabel goes to another dimension, we were all meant to go to separate ones and it would show each dimension. One of them was going to be a video game style, one of them was going to be a visual novel, one of them was going to be set in Victorian London. And the live action one was where Isabel was going to go. I feel like I really wanted to push what was normal for fanime, and because all of the characters and some of the places were based in reality, I wanted to exploit that as much as possible and just kind of make it interesting and cool to watch. I knew that my art wasn't good enough at the time, and my animation skills weren't enough, so I wanted to try different things with the show.
I'm curious about how many episodes ADHD will have.
Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies will have 7 official episodes. There may be some special episodes as in Christmas, Valentine's special, but they will have plot and they will have story building. I don't want to overwhelm the series, so tell me if you'd be interested in something like that. To be honest, I've had thoughts that span into maybe a second season, a movie. But I think the main goal of the characters should be just to defeat the aliens. You know, it's basically in the title. I don't think I'd ever release the movie, but maybe in the manga form, I'll add on to it.
24-hour fanime opening challenge. JK. Unless...
The actual opening was made in less than 24 hours. I'm pretty sure it was around 6 hours that it took. I mean, it didn't have any real animation, but I tried my best. I'd say that the opening song took a little longer, so maybe the quality balances out. I'm thinking about redoing it sometime, maybe 2-year anniversary.
If and once you finish ADHD, what will you do after it?
Well, right now I'm working on an Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies manga, which will be uploaded on Webtoons. It will include some of the scenes I had to remove from the final cut of the episodes. It would also be nice to make a gaming RPG maker for Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies, but I am struggling to come up with a plot. I'm thinking about making a Valentine's and Christmas Day special. There are sketches for a Halloween special, but they'd have actual plot and have relevance to the story. I don't want to overwhelm the anime. In terms of moving away from Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies, me and Isabel are currently working on making a fanime together, and I have multiple other fanime projects that I plan to work on.
What were the easiest and hardest things about making the series?
I'd say the easiest thing about making Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies was probably making the music because of just how fun it was. At first, we'd all gather in the music room and make songs on GarageBand. They were mainly for fun, so we didn't put too much thought into it. But later on, I started composing my own original tracks. The hardest thing is putting it all together and recording the sound effects, because sometimes I need really specific sound effects. I'm not quite good at video editing. Thank you for watching this video. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. You've really given all of us the motivation to keep making Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies. There are a lot of questions that I just couldn't find the time to answer. I had very limited time whilst making this video. But on the official Aliens Dislike Highschool Dummies YouTube channel, I'm going to be making whole videos dedicated to such questions. And it's going to include the meanings behind names and other cool things like that. I'll link it in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day or night.